If you've ever felt like your internal narrative is, well, less victorious and maybe more low-grade panic, you are definitely not alone.
Oh, for sure.
We live in a world that just constantly broadcasts negativity, uncertainty, fear. And the source we dove into for you today is this sermon called The Mindset of a Victor, Living Positively for Christ. It's all based on this idea that the real spiritual battlefield, it's in your mind. The victory has to start there, inside.
And what's so interesting right off the bat is how it reframes the whole idea of faith. It argues that living for Christ isn't, mainly about avoiding a list of bad things.
Right.
It's about proactively cultivating this positive, resilient mindset, one that reflects light and love and power. It treats your mind like a control center that needs intentional reprogramming.
And that's what makes this so valuable for anyone looking for clarity. The source is so systematic about it. We're not just looking at 10 vague ideas.
No, not at all.
We are dissecting 10 specific lessons. And for each one, the source gives you 3 parts. An affirmation to say, an insight to understand, and a practical instruction to actually apply.
That structure is what gives it its punch.
It really is.
So our mission today is to unpack those 10 points. And to make it easier to digest, we've grouped them into 3 themes. First, how you establish your identity.
Your foundation.
Exactly. Then we get into the daily actions for growth. And finally, how this whole mindset starts to impact the world around you.
Okay, let's jump into that first foundational theme, establishing identity and internal stability. This has to start with self-worth.
It does. That's lesson 1. You are who God says you are. The core insight here is that your identity has to be defined only by your relationship with Christ. It makes it independent of, your job, your failures, what other people think.
And the affirmation is so powerful. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. But here's the thing, and I know you're thinking this too. It's easy to say that when everything's going great. How do you actually convince your mind of that when you've just failed at something, where you feel like a total mess?
Well, that's where the instruction comes in, and it's so critical. It says, meditate daily on God's word to renew the mind. The source basically sees this as a form of cognitive reprogramming. It's the tool you use to consciously override that negative feedback loop from failure. Because if you only listen to the world's definitions of you, your stability will always be temporary. You have to secure it daily.
That makes so much sense. It connects this big idea to a daily, concrete mental task.
Yeah.
And that focus on stability, it brings us right to lesson 2, which I think is a really important one. Choose joy, not just happiness.
Yes, happiness is a mood, it's conditional.
Totally.
And the source draws a really hard line here. The insight is that joy is rooted in Christ, which means it's fundamentally separate from your circumstances.